everybody, welcome back to another video. Uh, today we are going to be programming in Scratch. But what we're going to be doing is something pretty cool. I'm going to show you how to create the Boots and the Mori or Animal Crossing in Scratch. Or just any RPG, technically, I don't know. But, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. What you'll want to do is, create a new project. And the purpose of this, part, this tutorial thing, this tutorial series, whatever you want to call it, I'm just going to name this Animal Crossing Tutorial. Ignore the fact that I'm on a Chromebook. Uh-oh. Whoop. I accidentally something. Now, the first thing you want to do is obviously delete the Scratch Cat. And first thing we want to start off with is making, well, I don't really know. We're going to start with the main menu. So I'm actually not going to recreate it exactly, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by, using backdrop, and we're going to choose blue sky. This is going to be our temporary background, because I don't feel like making something else. And we're going to grab a when green flag clicked, switch the backdrop to the blue sky. Next thing we're going to do is grab some sounds in here. I don't think I'm going to be able to play them, though, so I don't know. So obviously it's copyright, so yeah. I'm actually not going to use sounds in this tutorial that are used in the game. But what you would do is you would take this and then just drag it here. No loops, nothing like that. Just drag it in there, and then that's it. I'm going to delete it though because copyright. Next thing you want to do is create a new sprite. And then go to costumes, and I'm going to show you something really cool that you can do with words. Now, if you have used Scratch before, you may know, or just any app or website that lets you make images. What you can do with text is, we're going to call this press space. What we're going to do, we're going to duplicate it by pressing Control-C and Control-V. Or, not yet. We're actually going to make this bigger, so delete it. And then make it bigger, and then Control-C, Control-V. We're going to make this slightly darker with the brightness. Kind of like this. We're going to then go to the back, and you see the effect already. We're then going to move it to right here. And there we go. We have this really, really cool 3D text thing. I'm going to move it down to the bottom here. And whenever a green flag is clicked, we're going to wait around 3 seconds. And then we're going to also, the very beginning, change ghost to 100. You can also use set ghost to 100 if you want. Then we're going to also use another one where it does -10. But then we're going to grab another control weight with or 0.05. And when we press start, that should happen. Next thing I want to do is to make the Animal Crossing effect, we're going to do a forever loop. I'm going to wait about a second. And we're going to take this and we're going to put it back to normal. So we'll hide. Grab this, duplicate it, and then we're going to add a wait in between. Then we're going to change this back to -10. And then this should happen when we do it. As you can see, it's working normal. However, it's a little slow. We're going to go to 0.5. I'm going to change this to 0.3. We're actually going to change this back to 1. That didn't look good. This looks more. 1.5. 1.5 should be good. Or actually, no. We need to put one in between here as well. At the very beginning, or the very end, we want to put a wait. A little too long. Go back to 0.5. It's a little too short. We're going to go to 0.2. Something like this. Now, we have a press space fading and defading or whatever. Press space text. Obviously, when we press space, it does nothing. So what we want to do is we're going to make a new sprite by painting, and then we're going to choose a fully black box. And we're just going to fill this entirety, or the entirety of this thing right here, with a black box. It's a little too big though. So I'm just going to make it smaller. If it goes off the screen, that's fine. Just drag it. Or use the arrow keys to move it. It may not go all the way up, but that's okay. And when we're done, should be around the size of the entire screen. Like this. Next thing you want to do is go back to the when green flag clicked. And we also want this to have the ghost effect to 100. Now what we want to do is we also want to copy this like this. Duplicate. There. This time all we need is the wait. Then what we want to do is do a forever and an if statement. Now, if statements use sensing or bools or booleans. You can tell with the my blocks I did not want to go there. But if you go to make a block, as you can see, it's add an input boolean. We're going to go back and we're going to add if key space pressed, and we want to keep it like this. Then we're going to broadcast message 1, and then we're going to add a new message, and let's call it space pressed. Doesn't have to be exactly the same, but I'm just going to do that. Then we're going to go back here, and when I receive space pressed, I'm going to go back here and take this right here. Or actually, we'll take both because we'll need it in a minute. Now, next thing we want to do after we have both of those scripts, get rid of these two. If you just dragged it in, that's okay. You can just go over here and make sure it looks exactly like mine. We want this one that has the negative ghost effect, meaning it's going to make it less invisible. Like that. Now, it doesn't look that natural, so we're going to go to 5. Doesn't look very fading. Doesn't look really great. Another thing we have to fix is the fact that this is a wait 1 second, when this needs to be 0.5. No, 0.2, that's what it was. And then we should have a perfectly good system for the start. Now, this is when things get a little tricky. What we're going to have to first do is we're going to create a new backdrop, which is going to be black. So what I'm actually going to do is just straight up copy this and paste it in here. That way we have this. The next thing you want to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a new circle or whatever, kind of like this. This will be important in a minute. Next thing we want to do is we want to make it, we want this to wait around half a second, and then it's going to hide for the rest of the time. Now, we're also going to need at the very beginning a show, otherwise it won't show. Then, after this happens, we're going to wait about a second. Like this, that's good. I just got rid of this thing, but that's okay, I can get it back. I'm going to take this and then insert this, or no, wrong one. This one. Now, if you take the entire thing, it will take everything with it, but that's fine. This is moving a little slow. Okay, there we go. What we're going to have to do, though, is you can press space again and again, and it's not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Control, and at the very bottom of Control, you'll see the stop. Change this to this script and grab another one that says Other Scripts and Sprite. Drag this in before this, because if you don't, then you won't be able to connect anything to the bottom. Then, you press space. Everything stops. Now what I'm actually going to do is drag this above this and then have it stop, so then this should happen. There we go. Now, normally, if you are wanting sounds, you would get the, so I don't actually have what I need, but you would get the sound effect. I don't have the sound effects right now anymore, so that's okay. So we won't use that. Again, copyright, so yeah. Next thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and back into here and fix this up by getting rid of this part. Make sure it says -10 instead of +10. And then drag it under here. Now, what we should see is this background after 1.5 seconds. There we go. Obviously, we don't want that. So, what we're actually going to do is go to Looks, and then switch Backdrop to Backdrop 1. Or we're actually going to go in here and rename this to KK. You'll see why we need that in a minute. This is obviously KK's interaction. And that's why it's called KK. And then there we go. And as you can see, we have this. And that's the basics. Now, next time, we are going to work on the speech interaction, just dialogue boxes, because that's the hard part, because we need to make a text engine. But that's it. So, like and subscribe. Comment how far you made it before getting lost. And thanks for watching. Code Raven out. Or Red Raven now, I don't know.